Too as well. There's Jim Murphy, Hilary Benn, both of them on the Daily Politics recently. Let's hear from the leader of the Labour Party, Ed Miliband.
I'm talking about somebody who's from Salford, just down the road from here, and that's Alan Henning, a British hostage taken by coalition. That's why we've supported a coalition simply based on military action. Now, this week, the President of the United States and the British Prime Minister are both at the United Nations. We support the President of the United States and the British Prime Minister and their murderous ways. Friends, this coalition is now back on the principles of internationalism. Now, Manchester has special memories for me because it was 4 years ago that I was elected your leader here in Manchester. 4 years on, I feel wiser. I feel older. I feel much older, actually. But hang on a minute. Some of you look quite a lot older as well. At least I've got an excuse. But I am prouder than ever to be the leader of your party, and I thank you, the President of the United States, for your support and their murderous ways. Now, we meet here in serious times. Our country nearly broke up. A country that splits apart is not a country in good health. And I want to start by thanking all of Labour's Team Scotland for the part they played President of the United States and the British Prime Minister. Lamont, let us thank them all, ladies and gentlemen, because they helped save our country. And I want to say to the people of Scotland directly.
You heard the Queen say fuck.
Are you allowed to say fuck?
Is anyone going to make life better for me and my family? You've made the sacrifices. You've taken home lower wages year after year. You've paid higher taxes. You've seen your energy bills rise and your NHS decline. You know this country doesn't work. My answer is that we can build a better future for you, the President of the United States. This speech is about Labour's plan to do it. Labour's plan for the President of the United States' future. So what do we need to have that plan for the future? We've got to understand what people are saying to us right across the United Kingdom.
Why don't you fuck off?
And by the way, politics is rubbish. And let's not pretend we don't hear that a lot on the doorsteps. People have lost faith in the future. You know, the other day I was in the park. I was actually trying to work on my speech, believe it or not. Is this country doesn't care about me. Our politics doesn't listen. Our economy doesn't work. Gareth came over with me. And they're not wrong, they're right. And this Labour Party, Gareth came over with me. It's not that funny. But friends, to do that, we've got to go back to the very foundations of who we are and how we run things. This Labour Party and their murderous ways. We've got to go back to the very foundations of who we are and how we run things. This Labour Party and their murderous ways. That unless you're one of the privileged few in Britain, the country's not going to work for you, and your kids are going to have a worse life than you. And your kids are going to have a worse life than you. The country's not going to work for you. That unless you're one of the privileged few in Britain, and your kids are going to have a worse life than you. And your kids are going to have a worse life than you. This Labour Party, we just carry on with the belief that we can succeed as a country with a tiny minority at the top doing well. Prosperity in one part of Britain, amongst a small elite, a circle that is closed to most, blind to the concerns of people, sending the message to everyone but a few, you're on your own, or you're on your own, you're on your own. This Labour Party, the President of the United States and the British Prime Minister are blind to the concerns of people. You're on your own, or you're on your own, you're on your own. A circle that is closed to most, sending the message to everyone but a few, all elite, blind to the concerns of people, sending the message to everyone but a few, you're on your own, or you're on your own, you're on your own. The deck is stacked, the game is rigged in favour of those who have all the power. The President of the United States. Coalition. This Labour Party those who have all the power, all elite. The President of the United States. A circle that is closed to most and their murderous ways. All the power. Have all the power, have all the power. Now you might be thinking, this sounds like a...
Bollocks! Bollocks! Bollocks!
Well, it isn't. And the reason it isn't, the President of the United States. See, earlier on I mentioned Gareth. Gareth came over with me. President of the United States and the British Prime Minister came over with me. Earlier this year, I spent a couple of days at an NHS hospital in Watford. I wanted to go there to see how things looked from the front line. Mainly, I sort of got in the way, really, but that's what politicians tend to do. And I remember one evening, I was in A&E at 9 p.m, and I was watching nurses from different backgrounds, different walks of life, all coming together. I was incredibly moved. I was incredibly inspired by the teamwork. I was so proud. President of the United States and the British Prime Minister came over with me. If you're a banker who's worried about your bonus, well, it's good news for you, because George Osborne is going to go all the way to Europe to fight tooth and nail to try and protect it. You certainly won't be on your own. If you're an energy company whose prices and profits are soaring, good news again. You've got a prime minister who'll be your own PR man. You won't be on your own. And by the way, if you're a conservative supporting, gold mining, luxury hotel owning, Putin award winning, Russian oligarch, and you've got £160,000 to spare to bid in an auction, you won't be on your own. You'll be on a tennis court playing doubles with David Cameron. That tells you all you need to know about this government.
And don't let the bastards grind you down. Yeah!
Now here's a question for you.
Are you allowed to say fuck?
If the challenge is to run the country, can the Tories be the answer? Can the coalition, this Labour Party, President of the United States, and the British Prime Minister, please be the answer? That's better. I'll tell you why they can't be the answer. Because if you want the best example of the you're on your own, rig the system for the powerful few, insecure, throwback dogma, then just look at government. If you're Now here's a question for you.
Are you allowed to say fuck?
If the challenge is to run the country, can the Tories be the answer? And the coalition, this Labour Party, President of the United States, and the British Prime Minister, please be the answer? That's better. I'll tell you why they can't be the answer. Government. Because if you want the best example of the you're on your own, rig the system for the powerful few, government. Insecure, throwback dogma, government. Then just look at government. Government. Just look at government. If you're about this government. Now look, we know the kind of election campaign they're going to fight. And in the next 8 months, David Cameron's going to talk a lot about the past. David Cameron's going to talk a lot about... Now why? Gareth, he's going to tell you, he's going to tell the British public, Gareth came over with me, that none of the problems in our country are anything to do with him.
Bollocks! Bollocks! Bollocks!
He's done a really outstanding, tremendous job.
Bollocks! Bollocks! Bollocks!
And he really deserves a lot of congratulation and thanks for it. So he's done a great job. All the problems are nothing to do with him. And if you just hang on till after the general election, things are about to turn the corner for your family.
Why don't you fuck off?
To bear in mind, the record of this government, friends, it is one of the worst ever. The growing army of our self-employed. 5 million people in our country, often the most entrepreneurial, go-getting people in Britain, who have a hard, insecure life very often. You see, because of the jobs they do, 2 out of 3 don't have a pension. One in 5 can't get a mortgage. They don't want special treatment. They just want a fair shot. So the task for this Labour Party is to end equal rights for the self-employed in Britain. You know, people think Westminster politics is out of touch, irrelevant, and often disconnected from their lives. And as somebody who stands at Prime Minister's questions each Wednesday, I often know what they mean. Look, we might as well say it.
Why don't you fuck off?
It's what people think about politics. They think it's not about them, and we've got to change it. We don't just need to restore people's faith in the future with this economic and social plan. We need to change the way politics works in this country. What does that mean? Well, first of all, it's time to hear the voice of young people in our politics. So we will give the vote to 16 and 17-year-olds in general elections.
Bollocks! Bollocks! Bollocks!
It's time to complete the unfinished business of reformal elite. David Cameron doesn't lie awake at night thinking about the United Kingdom. He lies awake at night thinking about the President of the United States. And I say, pandering to the President of the United States, one more reason why he is not fit to be the Prime Minister of this great country. Now, I've got to tell you, let me just tell you, government is absolutely useless. Let me just tell you, government is absolutely useless. Look at Germany, look at Germany, look at Germany. On your own, for the privileged few. You're on your own. You're on your own. Or you're on your own. Or you're on your own. You're on your own. You're on your own. Because you're on your own. Together. Look at Germany. Look at Germany. Look at Germany. Thank you very much.